today we're going to talk about how to figure out where to place Candu on your page. When you're installing Candu, there's a specific part that requires you to add a selector. And the selector needs to be an element, often a div, on the actual page where you want to install Candu. And that just takes one or two very simple steps to find, but I wanted to walk you through it today. So if we are, for instance, on Candu's marketing site, I already have the inspector pulled up, but to pull up this section down here that I'm looking at, you'll just right click and click inspect, and then you'll get this. And what you're looking for when you're trying to find the selector is either a class or an ID that you can add in there. An ID is ideal because an ID is a unique identifier of a specific part of your page, but they're not used very commonly in code. We understand that. So we've also made it possible to call a specific part of your page with a class instead. As you can see on our page, for instance, these are a lot more common. If you're installing on WordPress or Wix, they actually use IDs pretty frequently, so that'll be really handy for you. But like I said, a class is totally fine. So what you want to do as you're scrolling over this is you'll see different parts of the page will highlight if you're looking at them. And so you'll just want to find the part of the page that you want to install Candu, and you can use this little arrow button here to select different elements on the page to find out what they're named, which is, if you already know where you want to place it on the page, probably the best way to find the class that you're looking for installation. So for instance, here we'd be looking for what's called a div, but we could do it to the scroll icon. The one thing is, if you are using a class, you want to probably search that class name to make sure it's not showing up multiple times on the page. If it is, it'll be difficult for Candu to know exactly where you want to install it, so try to find one that's only used once on the page, and not something more generic like header. Once you've done that, you can just click into here, copy the class name that you want, and then when you're going to install Candu in Google Tag Manager or whatever low-code install you're using, you'll just plug that in where it says your element ID in the selector. And then you should be good. Thanks so much.